Good afternoon. In the last 48 hours, our country has been set back in terms of providing equity and access in higher education. And as you heard from the President, today the Supreme Court ruled against more than 40 million working families. Let's be clear about who would have benefited from the President's student debt relief plan. Nearly 90% of relief would have gone to borrowers making less than $75,000 a year. 20 million Americans would see their debts drop to zero, with 20 million more seeing lower payments. This would mean fewer borrowers falling into delinquency and default when payment pause ended. We're not talking about the millionaires who benefited from the billions in tax giveaways a few years ago. We're talking about low and middle income families recovering from the worst pandemic in a century. I strongly disagree with the court's decision here. So today, I want to assure our students, our borrowers, and families across America, our fight is not over. We're taking action. The President, the Vice President, and I have put borrowers first from day one. We refuse to go back to the way things were before the pandemic, when 1 million borrowers defaulted each year and faced devastating financial consequences. So let me tell you about the actions we're taking today. Number one, we're going to open up an alternative path to debt relief for as many borrowers as possible, as quickly as possible. While we acknowledge the court's decision, we began the negotiated rulemaking process on settlement and compromise authority today. More information on the new regulations will come out shortly. Number two, today, we are rolling out the most affordable income-driven repayment plan ever. This new plan is called Saving on a Valuable Education, SAVE. It'll cut monthly payments in half for all undergraduate loans. It'll cut payments to $0 for millions of people making less than $33,000 a year. All other borrowers will save at least $1,000 per year. This plan will stop runaway interest, and it's not going to require you to pay more than you can afford. And number three, as the President mentioned, we're creating an on-ramp for repayment for up to 1 year for those who need it. This means, although interest will accrue starting September 1st and payments are due starting in October, we'll help borrowers who are struggling to make payments avoid harsh financial consequences such as delinquencies and wage garnishments. Borrowers who can make payments should. Again, I disagree with today's decision from the Supreme Court.